Hello, class. I'm here to talk about Chapter 2, Descriptive Statistics. On Chapter 1, you were presented with a lot of new terms and definitions, and also when you get the values, you have to define population or sample. Is that a quantitative, discrete, or continuous, or is that a qualitative? Which qualitative is basically a name. So you're talking about a color or something, or the name of a TV show. That would be a qualitative. Quantitative is when you can quantify something, and then also is separated between discrete and continuous. Okay, so now we're gonna get that data that you collected on chapter 1, and we are trying to use ways that makes easier for us to understand. And that's when that's descriptive statistics come in. Right here, if you see what it says, some of the type of graphs that are used to summarize and organize data are, and then the most common you probably heard, the bar graph or the pie chart or even the histogram. The histogram presents data in groups of values. For example, from 0 to 5, from 6 to 10, from 11 to 15, so far, so on. And then you determine the data that falls into that group. Okay. And pie chart, I'm sure you've seen pie charts as far as elections or things that don't have too many variables would be difficult to put in a pie chart. Pie chart. A bar graph is going to help you identify the peaks, what is really deviating from what we expect, where the values fall the most, so which will be the peak again. So that's what chapter 2 is about. They start with the stem and leaf, which I'm not going to be asking you for it, but I would like to show you. The stem and leaf, it's for example here, you don't have time to put it on actual graph. You don't want to design an actual graph. So what do? You can do a stem and leaf, which is your stem would be your first digit, and your leaf is gonna be the last digit. Okay, or in this case, they are all two digits, so it'll be your second digit. So you have to determine at first. So if you have all three digits, then you have to determine, okay, your stem is gonna be the first two digits, and then the leaf is gonna be the last digit, for example. Um, Right here, we have some exam grades, okay, and it goes from a 33, which is a failing grade, all the way up here. And then we have D's, and then we have C's, B's, and A's, okay? So the way they did it, you put the first digit, so we have threes, fours, five, six, seven, eight, nine, and a 10 right here. Regardless whether you're gonna have a value for it or not, you will include it here because this is actually represent a bar graph. So let me change it. Let me rotate it, the view here to see if it makes a little more sense. Um, this way. Okay, and let me make it a little bigger here. Okay, right now, take a look. This would be the bottom right here. 3, 4, 5. That'll be your horizontal or your x-axis, and here will be your vertical or your y-axis. And then right here, you see that the values are going from, just one here and one here, and it goes up. Here is the first peak. Here's the second peak, and then goes down. So you can see the most concentration around the 6 and 9s, which is D's and A's right here. We also have C's over here, and we have B's, and then we have a very low one for a failure, and a few more. And actual 108 would be just one. Okay, so let me go ahead and put this back. There we go. So that's what it represents. So if you're in a hurry, you just want to have an idea. And if we look at it, 60. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 grades for 60 right here. Do you see 6, 6, 1, 6, 6, 3, 667, 668, and you repeat it 668, 669, 669. There you go. Okay. If you do not have a value, you will still add it here on your horizontal, should I say, your stem, but don't add anything here. Okay, just like in a graph. So let's keep going. That would be the stem and leaf. Another representation, we have a side-by-side stem and leaf, which I don't want to confuse you. But right here, you can do a comparison of two stems. You do one and the other to the other side, so you can compare them. Okay. And right here, we are gonna start talking about a line graph. So we're talking about frequency points. I believe you have frequency on your homework. So right here it's telling you the number of times teenager is reminded of completing his task and the frequency happens. So this the way that they decided to represent this data was through a line graph, which means here you go. Your horizontal axis is going to be your x-axis, and your y-axis is going to be your vertical axis, where's the frequency points. When you plot all the points, this is what it's going to look like. Just to make sure that this is correct, we can go ahead and do this in Excel so I can show you quickly how you actually do that. So let's just try to put both here. Okay, I'm going to put Excel over here enough for you to see it. Okay, so let me see. Let me just put number of times 0, 1, and it goes all the way to 5. So I did I put 0, 1, so Excel understands that I'm gonna continue 3, 4, 5, and I'm here. I'm gonna put frequency. So 2, 5, the frequency that they're 8. Oops. 14, 7, 4. Just by looking at these numbers, you would expect the peak to be right here on 3. Then there is another one right here, 8, 7. So see, that's follows immediately in the lower values. So the way you can do this, select it over here, insert, and I would do recommended charts if you're not familiar with Excel. When you do recommended charts, if you go down here, which one looks just like that? This one right here. So let's just adjust a little bit to look more like your book. And then it resembles your book. I'm not gonna add all the titles and the titles and everything to the chart, which you have to, you should. I'm just trying to show quickly how this was done. So which identify that the most values, uh, they are right here, 3 and 4. If I only present you this graph, for example, and I ask you where the most frequent value, then you could say it would be 14, or the number of times 3, and then that it happened 14 times. Okay, the minimum, you could say definitely is this one right here, that 2 times that nobody ever asked anything.